What's up, world? This is Truth a Lot Thursdays. We got another question coming up. This question actually came a while ago, just now getting to it, a long time ago actually. Somebody asked, what's the difference between the Jews going in and killing people to take the land that God gave them and the way America was established? Weren't the Native Americans worshiping animals, the moon, and even doing human sacrifice? The Aztecs were known for that. Okay, so there was one nation that had a covenant with God, and that's the nation of Israel. It's not the nation of America. George Washington and Abraham are not, congruent. Another thing you have to think about is look at the iniquity of the Amorites. The iniquity of the Amorites and the sexual sin of the Canaanites was so extreme. It was kind of like Sodom and Gomorrah. When you look at Native American history, I doubt it got that bad for them. I mean, you're talking about sexual sin every single day in every single way type of stuff, homosexuality and all that stuff. I don't, of course they had it probably, but I don't know if it was that deep. When you look at what God said to Abraham, he said the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. And this was hundreds of years before they were even able to go into the land of the Amorites. So God has a great amount of patience. And you can't sit there and say that the Native Americans were equal to Sodom and Gomorrah. You just can't, there's no evidence for that. You can't say that. By most accounts, Native Americans were a peaceful people, and they would have responded to the gospel, and they would not have required genocide. Western genocides were fueled by slavery, by sorcery and greed. They were not fueled by God. So you cannot equate America to Israel and say that, well, since Israel took over a certain land, then America was called to do the same thing, because it's just not true. God had a covenant with Abraham. He didn't have one with George Washington. And the thing is, Jesus died on the cross so the gospel could be preached. So you can't go backwards and say, well, we got to go back to genocide to spread the gospel. No, because Jesus already died for the gospel to be preached and taught to every nation. And so you can't go backwards and say, oh, we're going to spread the gospel, with war. That's totally man's will. That's not God's will at all. So there's a lot of, I believe that, there's always certain people that had good intentions, like the Puritans. I know they were pure, they were seeking God. There were revivalists back in the days that had good intentions for the gospel. But there's a lot of people that didn't, There's Masons, there's deists in our history, there's conquistadors, and those people were not anointed by God. And Jesus never called anyone to spread his gospel through political conquest and through economic conquest. That was not God's plan. His plan is already written to teach and preach and disciple all nations. So the people that did those evil things, they're suffering. 3 John 1:11 says, Beloved, follow not that which is evil, but that which is good. He that doeth good is of God, but he that doeth evil has not seen God. So you can't connect all this evil to, then say that it's good, because it's a quote-unquote Christian nation. It's not. There are Christians in this nation. There always have been a remnant of believers, but is overall a Christian nation? No, it's not. There's a lot of people that are suffering, for the sins they committed founding this nation. They're suffering in Hades right now. Hell, so to speak, or whatever. So all these wars, all these genocides, all these economic oppressions, all this slavery, those are sins punishable by Jesus Christ, and they are being punished, and they will continue to be punished. And these are the things that we have to say, and we have to preach these things, because people are becoming offended with the idea that civilized nations, oppress people with the gospel. And this is not true, because those things are being punished, and they will continue to be punished. And God is the master judge, and he is the expert accountant. He's a genius accountant. He sees everything, He knows what the good that people have done, and he knows the evil that people have done. So follow good. Do not follow evil. And you don't have to be bullied into, whitewashing everything and telling everybody that everything was good in our history. It's not. And you're going to be rewarded for the good that you do, not the evil that you do. So